Ever wished you could run those super powerful AI models like ChatGPT right on your laptop?
Yeah.
It's getting closer to reality
Yeah, it really is.
thanks to something called quantization.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
We've got this fascinating paper about making large language models, those LLMs we hear so much about.
Yeah.
Smaller and faster.
Right.
This is a big deal.
Huge.
If we want to use these powerful AI tools
Yes.
in our everyday lives.
It's kind of like those old, bulky computers you used to see.
Oh, yeah.
But imagine shrinking them down to pocket size.
Wow.
And they still do all the same amazing things.
That's incredible.
That's the kind of potential we're talking about here.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but before we get ahead of ourselves,
Sure.
let's break down what quantization actually is.
Okay, so imagine you're trying to fit more clothes in your suitcase for a trip.
Okay.
You might roll them instead of folding them, right?
Yeah, I do that.
Quantization is similar.
Okay.
Instead of using large, precise numbers, we round them off a bit to save space,
Nicey.
making the entire AI model smaller.
So it's like saying close enough,
Yeah,
but for computer data.
exactly.
That makes sense for storage, but
Right.
doesn't that affect the AI's accuracy?
That's the trade-off we have to consider.
Okay.
Typically, data is stored using 32 bits.
Mm-hmm.
With quantization, we can reduce that to 16 bits or even 8 bits.
Oh, wow.
The paper uses the example of pi.
Okay.
You know, that never-ending number we all learned about in school.
Of course, pi.
If pi were a 32-bit number,
Right.
it would be incredibly precise.
Makes sense.
But if we convert it to 16 bits,
Uh,
we lose some of those decimal places.
Yeah.
It's still a close approximation,
yeah.
but it takes up significantly less space.
So instead of using the entire string of digits for pi,
Right.
we're essentially rounding it off
Yes.
to something like 3.14.
Exactly.
That's probably good enough for most calculations.
Yeah, probably.
But what about for complex AI models? How much accuracy are we really sacrificing?
That's the key question, and it depends on several factors.
Yeah.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Nice.
The type of LLM,
Right.
the specific task it's performing,
Mm-hmm.
and even the level of rounding we apply
Okay.
all play a role.
So there are different degrees of quantization,
Yes.
like choosing how much to round off.
Exactly. And there are different formats, too.
Oh.
The paper mentions BFLOE 16, which is kind of a middle ground.
Oh.
Instead of focusing on absolute precision,
Mm-hmm.
it prioritizes having a wider range of numbers,
I see.
making it really useful for tasks like deep learning.
Okay, so we're shrinking the memory needed.
Yeah,
What's the real-world impact?
right.
Why should you, the listener, care about quantization?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
If we can make these massive LLMs smaller,
Yeah.
suddenly we can run them on devices
Mhm.
that don't have tons of memory or
Mm.
processing power.
Like our phones.
Your laptop, your phone, even smaller devices
Wow.
could potentially handle these complex AI tasks.
So instead of needing a supercomputer
Right.
to chat with an AI
Yeah,
or get help with a complex task,
exactly.
we could do it right on our personal devices.
Exactly. And that opens up so many possibilities
Yeah.
for how we can use AI in our everyday lives.
Wow.
But the benefits go even further.
oh.
Tell me more.
What else can quantization do for us?
I'm all ears.
Think back to our suitcase analogy.
Okay.
By rolling your clothes, you can fit more in the same space.
Right.
Quantization is similar.
Okay.
It lets us cram more AI power
Uh-huh.
into the same limited hardware.
So we're getting more bang for our buck.
You can say that.
I like it.
This leads to some pretty remarkable advantages.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's dive in. One of the most exciting things is the speed boost you get with quantization.
Oh, yeah?
When the AI model uses less memory, it can process information faster,
Okay.
giving you those snappy responses you want.
Oh,
That's something I think we can all appreciate.
for sure.
Waiting for a slow computer or app
Ugh, it's the worst.
is one of the most frustrating things.
Absolutely. And there's one more big benefit
Okay.
that's becoming increasingly important these days.
What's that?
Energy efficiency.
Oh, right.
LLMs are notoriously power hungry.
Yeah, they're real energy hogs.
They take a lot of energy to run.
Yeah.
Quantization helps to curb that energy consumption,
Okay.
which is good for the planet and your device's battery life.
Okay, so we've got memory savings,
Yep.
speed boosts,
Uh-huh.
and we're being kinder to our planet.
Exactly.
Sounds like quantization is a win-win-win situation.
It really does.
But I'm guessing it's not all smooth sailing, right?
Wow.
There must be some downsides or challenges involved.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, good.
The paper highlights some key hurdles researchers are working on.
What are some of those?
Like we talked about earlier, accuracy loss is a concern.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there are also hardware limitations.
Oh, really?
Not every computer is equipped to handle quantization efficiently.
I see.
Some need special hardware to make it work properly.
So it's not as simple as flipping a switch and making all LLMs smaller.
Unfortunately, it's not that straightforward.
Okay.
There's a lot of ongoing research and development
I see.
to make quantization more widely applicable.
Mm-hmm.
And as we mentioned before,
Yeah.
the best approach isn't universal.
Okay.
It really depends on the specific task you're using the LLM for.
So it's like finding the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
Wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a bolt, right?
Exactly. You need the right quantization technique for each specific AI model
Okay.
and the hardware it's running on.
Makes sense.
But even with these challenges,
Yeah.
the potential of quantization is so exciting.
Yeah, it really is.
It's literally opening up a world of possibilities
I like it.
for how we can use these powerful LLMs.
Looking at this visual from the paper, you really get a sense of the scale of the problem.
It's pretty crazy.
It shows how much memory different LLMs need.
Yeah.
And it's mind-boggling.
It really is.
How those memory requirements skyrocket as
Yeah.
the models get bigger.
It really drives home why quantization is so important.
For sure.
If we want everyone to experience the power of LLMs,
Yeah.
we need to find ways to make them smaller and more efficient.
So what does all of this mean for the average person?
Right.
Let's say I'm not a computer scientist
Okay.
or an AI expert.
Yeah.
How could quantization actually impact my life?
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Okay.
quantization could fundamentally change how we interact with AI.
Interesting.
Imagine having personalized tutors
Okay.
that can adapt to your learning style in real time,
Wow.
right from your laptop or phone.
That would be amazing.
Think about smart devices in your home
Yeah.
that truly understand your needs and preferences.
Like a truly smart home.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow. When you put it that way.
Uh,
It sounds like quantization is opening up a whole new future.
Absolutely. There are countless possibilities.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this field so fascinating.
It really is.
We're just starting to scratch the surface
It feels that way.
of what's possible with these smaller,
Mm.
more efficient LLMs.
It's incredible to think
I know.
that something as seemingly technical as shrinking the size of data
Right.
could have such a profound impact on our daily lives.
And that's just one part of the story. We haven't even touched on all the exciting research happening in this field.
There's more. Don't leave us hanging.
Oh, there's so much more.
What else is there to discover about this amazing technology? What else is there to discover about this amazing technology?
Well, we were just starting to talk about all the exciting research happening around quantization.
Yeah.
There are a couple of areas that I
Mhm.
think are really promising.
Okay.
One is the development of hardware,
Okay.
specifically designed for quantized models.
Oh, wow. So like purpose-built hardware.
Think about it.
Okay.
If the hardware itself
Mhm.
is optimized for these smaller,
Yeah.
more efficient models,
Right.
we can get even greater performance gains.
So it's like having a custom-built engine for a race car.
Exactly.
It's designed to squeeze every ounce of power out of the fuel.
That's a great analogy.
I like it.
And then there's the research
Yeah.
into new quantization algorithms.
Quantization algorithm.
These are mathematical techniques
Oh, yeah.
that can push the limits of how much we can reduce precision
Right.
without sacrificing accuracy.
I see.
It's like finding new ways to pack that suitcase,
The suitcase analogy. I love it.
even tighter without crushing your clothes.
So we're talking about making these models even smaller and faster.
Yeah.
But what about making this technology easier for developers to use?
That's another area
Yeah.
where there's a lot of focus.
Okay.
Researchers are developing tools and techniques to make the process of quantizing models
Okay.
simpler and more accessible.
Right, because if it's too hard to use,
Right.
it's not going to get adopted.
Exactly. Because
Yeah,
ultimately,
totally.
the goal is to make this technology available to everyone,
I like it.
not just a select few who have the expertise to implement it.
So it's like creating a user-friendly interface
Yes.
for a complex piece of software.
Right.
You don't need to understand all the technical details under the hood
Exactly.
to be able to use it effectively.
Exactly. The easier it is for developers to work with quantization,
Yeah.
the faster we'll see new and innovative applications using this technology.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Okay.
We've talked about what quantization is, why it matters,
Yeah.
and some of the exciting advancements happening in the field.
It is a very exciting time.
It really is. But before we wrap things up,
Sure.
I want to bring it back to you, the listener.
Okay.
What does all of this mean for you?
Right?
And how could you potentially benefit
Yeah.
from these advancements in AI?
Think about all the amazing things you do on your smartphone every day.
Okay.
You use voice assistants. You take pictures with incredible clarity.
Yeah.
You translate languages on the fly.
Yeah.
All of these features are powered by AI,
That's true.
and quantization is making them possible by shrinking those AI models down to a size
Okay.
that can run efficiently on your device.
So you're saying that next time I ask my phone for directions,
Yeah,
quantization could be working behind the scenes
could be.
to make sure I get a quick and accurate response.
That's right. And it's not just smartphones. Quantization is also being used to bring AI to other edge devices,
Okay.
like smart speakers,
Yeah.
wearables, and even cars.
Wow.
This means you could have powerful AI capabilities at your fingertips,
Oh, that's amazing.
no matter where you are, even without an internet connection.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
It seems like the possibilities are endless.
It really does.
And we're just at the beginning of this incredible journey
Yeah.
into the world of quantized AI.
It's a truly exciting time
It is,
to be involved in this field,
for sure.
and I can't wait to see what the future holds
I can't even.
as this technology continues to evolve.
Me too. And to our listeners,
Yes,
we hope this deep dive has given you a glimpse
a good one.
into the incredible potential of quantization
Yeah,
and how it's shaping the future of AI.
absolutely.
Keep an eye out for those smaller, faster,
Yeah,
and more efficient AI models
exactly.
popping up in your everyday devices.
You got it.
Until next time.